Hello and welcome to Scraplift Saturday here on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel. I'm Barbara Michelle. This is the inspiration piece for this week, and my photos have a lot of those colors, so that's what I took from the piece. And now you're seeing the page that I'll be scraplifting today, or the layout I'll be scraplifting today. That layout is by Jen Scow. It's from an old meets new layout share, and it was called School Carnival. So here's the pattern paper that I'll be using for my layout. It's got some little cat faces on it. It was by Crate Paper, the Cute Girl collection, and this page was called My Girl. One of the reasons I chose to scrap lift the page by Jen Scow today was because of the 3 photos she had on it. I will also be using 3 photos for my layout. My photos are a little bit larger. They're of a recent trip to the zoo. Here I'm just backing the photos on some black cardstock to help them stand out a little bit more from my pattern paper. That I put the 2 photos together, those 2 that you just saw, together first, and then I put the cardstock on the back. And now I'm just trimming up those 2 photos, trimming up the cardstock a little bit closer. It was slightly, it wasn't quite straight. It was a little bit of a wonky pairing the way I put them together, so I just needed to trim it. And that's basically how the photos are going to be on my layout. That piece there, that's a tag, or I'm sorry, it's not a tag, it's a little bag, and I put some tickets from a carousel ride we took that day inside. It was a glassine bag that I used, and I'm just taping the bag down. And when I put the photo over it, the bag had some dimensions, it stuck up a little bit. So now I'm just adding some fun foam adhesive to the back of my photo so that it will stick up high enough to go over that bag with those tickets in it. The foam that I'm using here does have one side that's sticky on it, and to stick the other side down I'm going to use some score tape, I believe it's called. I have tried in the past to use my tape runner or one of those my ATG gun or a little tape runner, and they don't seem to stick very well to the foam. Usually I have to put the tape on the paper and then put the foam on top. But that score tape works really well. I was happy about that. So I did not pop up the top photo, I just left it flat. And I like the different dimensions of the photos on the page. So that is an acetate piece. It says Memento, and I put it over. It could say Moments, but I think it says Memento. Moments. Either way, works. I attached it with the tiny attacher. That little piece that on the corner said Stay Wild, and I didn't use the piece, but I chose to use those words for my title. So I just used some letter stickers that I had left over from a previous layout. They're kind of a light orange or orangey peach color. After I put them down, I'm outlining them with a precision pen from American Crafts. As I put the letter stickers on the layout, they're a little bit they're not quite straight, but I thought it went well with the wild part of the title. So I put stay down first, and then it was kind of crooked, so I purposely put wild a little bit crooked. So I removed those tickets and I covered up the photos, and I'm using some Heidi Swap color shine to make some splatters. The color I used was Ocean. It matches well with the photos, or the tickets there. They have little polar bears on them. And also one of the photos has a little bit of blue in it. That's just a squirrel I had in an ephemera pack. I tried to use it, but it didn't quite work out. So now I'm just pulling out some scrapped pattern papers to use as the strips next to the photo, going from the original layout. On the original one, or on Jen Scow's, the one I'm scraplifting, they used some strips that went over the photos, slightly overlapped the photos, and I'm going to put them slightly under the photos. So that blue kind of triangle paper that I chose was from Crate Paper, And the other kind of orangey paper was from a paper pad, but I don't recall right now. So I just use just 2 small strips of paper for the edges. And right now I keep trying to use, one of those papers was a flamingo, and then the other one had kind of like a leopard. I wanted to get more animal prints because it was a trip to the zoo, but they just didn't quite work, the colors. Ultimately, I do go with that orangey color and the blue triangle paper. So now I'm just going to attach the 2 pieces together. I'm going to glue them together before I glue them onto the page. It's just easier to work with them that way than trying to stick down one and then stick the other one over or under it. That's the last one. I've been fussing with these little strips for quite a while. It's a small part, a small embellishment, but it really does add to the page. I'm just trimming it down. It was a little bit longer than I wanted. Okay, so I did some journaling off camera. I tried to write on the page, just write directly on the page, but it had too much black, too much stuff on the background. So I went on to my computer and did the journaling and then printed it out. Here I'm just placing a few more embellishments. I try to choose ones that match the color of the title, so they're kind of a pinky peach. There was a circle with a heart in it, and another circle that said this, and then an acetate star. And I also, after I get those down, I want to add a little bit of blue up to the top of the page, the top right side. So I punched out a heart from the pattern paper that I used for the strips. And that is the end of my layout. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out all the other Crafty Maven videos. A really great group of ladies there. Great group of videos. Thank you so much.